Entered Apprentice. The Entered Apprentice is the first degree of Freemasonry and the entry point into the fraternity. Freemasonry is a fraternal order that teaches moral and philosophical lessons through allegory, ritual, and symbol, using the tools and imagery of medieval stonemasons as metaphors for building good character. The candidate for the first degree is initiated in a ceremony that emphasizes humility, charity, and the pursuit of knowledge, and he is introduced to the basic working tools of the craft such as the 24-inch gauge and the common gavel, each carrying a symbolic meaning about the proper use of time and the removal of vice. The entered apprentice is taught the importance of keeping the order's confidences and begins his education in its symbolism. At this stage he is a member, but has not yet attained the full rights and privileges of a Freemason. Fellowcraft. The Fellowcraft is the second degree of Freemasonry, representing the stage of a worker who has moved beyond apprenticeship to become a skilled craftsman. Where the first degree emphasizes moral discipline and the beginning of the journey, the second degree is concerned with education and the development of the mind. Its ceremony encourages the study of the liberal arts and sciences, the 7 classical fields of grammar, rhetoric, logic, arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy, with a special emphasis on geometry as the science underlying the mason's craft. The central symbol of the degree is a winding staircase leading to a chamber of learning, representing the gradual ascent toward greater knowledge and understanding. The Fellowcraft is expected to broaden his intellect and to apply reason and study in the service of self-improvement and the good of society. Master Mason. The Master Mason is the third degree of Freemasonry and the highest degree in what is called craft or Blue Lodge Masonry, the foundation shared by every Freemason in the world. Attaining it makes a man a full member of the fraternity, with all its rights and privileges. The degree centers on the dramatic allegory of Hiram Abiff, the legendary master builder of King Solomon's temple, who in the ritual is confronted by 3 men seeking to force from him the secrets of a master and who chooses death over betrayal. Through this drama, the degree teaches integrity, fidelity, and the immortality of the soul. It is a crucial and often misunderstood point that despite the many higher-numbered degrees that exist, none of them outranks the Master Mason. Everything beyond the third degree adds to it rather than rising above it. Royal Arch Masonry. Royal Arch Masonry, also called Capitular Masonry, and organized in a body known as the Chapter, is the first step beyond the third degree in the system called the York Rite, one of the 2 great routes a Master Mason may take to continue his journey. It is often described as the true completion of the Master Mason degree, resolving a story left deliberately unfinished in the third degree. The chapter confers 4 degrees. The first is the Mark Master, which teaches lessons of honest labor and its just reward. The second is the Pass Master, historically linked to the office of lodge leadership. The third is the Most Excellent Master, set at the completion of King Solomon's temple. The fourth and climactic degree is the Royal Arch Mason, in which a long-lost secret is at last recovered, a ceremony many regard as among the most profound in all of Freemasonry. Cryptic Masonry. Cryptic Masonry, conferred in a body called the Council of Royal and Select Masters, is the second stage of the York Rite, taking its name from the hidden crypt or secret vault that lies at the heart of its ceremonies. Its degrees explain how the sacred treasures and secrets recovered in the Royal Arch came to be concealed and preserved in the first place, filling in the gaps of the larger legend. The Council confers the degree of Royal Master and the degree of Select Master, both set in the vault beneath King Solomon's temple, and both concerned with the safeguarding of that which is most precious. A third degree, the Super Excellent Master, is often conferred as well, dramatizing the fall of Jerusalem and the terrible consequences of broken faith. The cryptic degrees are prized for their solemnity and for completing the temple narrative. The Chivalric Orders. The Chivalric Orders, conferred in a body called the Commandery, form the summit of the York Rite and are unique in Freemasonry in requiring their members to profess the Christian faith, whereas the rest of the fraternity is open to men of any religion who believe in a supreme being. These are called orders rather than degrees, and they draw their imagery from the medieval crusading knights. The first is the illustrious Order of the Red Cross, concerned with the triumph of truth over all things. The second is the Order of Malta, honoring the Knights Hospitaller, who cared for the sick and defended pilgrims. The third and highest is the Order of the Temple, which confers the rank of Knight Templar and dramatizes the vows and devotions of the historic order of warrior monks. A member who completes the commandery is styled a Knight Templar. The Lodge of Perfection. The Lodge of Perfection is the first and largest division of the Scottish Rite, the other great route open to a Master Mason, and the one that gives the fraternity its famous system of numbered degrees. The Scottish Rite continues the numbering where the craft degrees end, so its degrees run from the fourth upward, and they are conferred not as ranks above the Master Mason, but as further lessons added to his. The Lodge of Perfection confers the degrees from the 4th to the 14th. These begin with the Secret Master, and continue through the Perfect Master, the Intimate Secretary, the Provost and Judge, and the Intendant of the building, followed by a series known as the Elu or Elected Degrees, which deal with justice and the punishment of wrongdoing. The division concludes with the Master Architect, the Royal Arch of Solomon, and the Perfect Elu at the 14th degree. Together these are called the Ineffable Degrees, because they concern the lost and sacred name of God. The Chapter of Rose Croix. The Chapter of Rose Croix is the second division of the Scottish Rite, conferring the degrees from the 15th to the 18th. The 15th degree is the Knight of the East, and the 16th is the Prince of Jerusalem, both drawing on the biblical account of the rebuilding of the temple after the return from exile in Babylon. The 17th degree is the Knight of the East and West. The division culminates in the 18th degree, the Knight of the Rose Croix, one of the most celebrated ceremonies in the entire rite, a philosophical degree concerned with faith, hope, and charity, and with the search for a new understanding after profound loss. The Rose Croix degrees mark a turning point in the Scottish Rite, moving away from the temple legends of the earlier degrees toward the broader questions of philosophy and faith that dominate the degrees to come. The Council of Kadosh. The Council of Kadosh is the third and most philosophical division of the Scottish Rite, conferring the degrees from the 19th to the 30th. The word Kadosh is Hebrew for holy, meaning set apart or consecrated. This long series ranges widely across history, philosophy, and religion, drawing moral lessons from many traditions and cultures. Among its degrees are the Grand Pontiff, the Noachite or Prussian Knight, the Knight of the Royal Axe, the Chief and the Prince of the Tabernacle, the Knight of the Brazen Serpent, the Prince of Mercy, the Knight Commander of the Temple, the Knight of the Sun, and the Knight of St. Andrew. The series culminates in the 30th degree, the Knight Kadosh, a demanding and dramatic ceremony concerned with duty, justice, and the rigorous testing of a man's character and resolve. These are the most complex and challenging of all the Scottish Rite degrees. The Consistory. The Consistory is the fourth and final division of the Scottish Rite, conferring the last of the working degrees, the 31st and the 32nd. The 31st degree is the Inspector Inquisitor, a ceremony concerned with justice, in which the candidate learns to judge others with mercy, while judging himself with honesty against the standard of the ideal. The 32nd and highest regular degree of the Scottish Rite is the Master of the Royal Secret, which gathers together the lessons of all the degrees that came before it into a single unified philosophy of life and duty. A Master of the Royal Secret has completed the full working progression of the Scottish Rite. Every degree, from the 4th to the 32nd, may be earned by any Master Mason who wishes to receive them, and the numbers signify only the sequence, never a rank of authority over another member. The 33rd degree. The 33rd degree, the Sovereign Grand Inspector General, stands apart from all the others because it cannot be applied for or earned through study. It is an honorary degree conferred by the governing Supreme Council solely upon members who have already attained the 32nd degree and who have given many years of exceptional service to the fraternity and to their communities. It is the highest honor the Scottish Rite can bestow, and only a small fraction of Freemasons ever receive it. Those who hold it take on responsibility for the leadership and governance of the rite itself. Because of its rarity and prestige, the 33rd degree has become the popular symbol of the very summit of Freemasonry in the public imagination, even though, in the strict logic of the fraternity, no degree ever truly outranks that of the Master Mason with which every Freemason begins. Thanks for watching. Did you learn something new? If so, then please like and subscribe for even more interesting videos.